What is going on, everyone? For this video, we're going to be doing NFL power rankings heading into week 8 of the NFL season. There's going to be 10 teams that I include, and there's going to be 2 honorable mentions I'm going to talk about right here. The first team that's an honorable mention is the Philadelphia Eagles. They beat the Giants 28-3, and their record's pretty solid, but the Giants aren't that good. That's why I couldn't include them. And I also included the Broncos as an honorable mention because basically the same reason. They had a good win, but they also played the Saints, so nothing too crazy there. So those are the 2 teams that are honorable mentions. We're going to hop to the 10th team, number 10. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks able to beat the Falcons 34-14 and snap their 3-game losing streak. And this was pretty surprising. I mean, the Seahawks defense has been underwhelming all season, but this game, their defense was playing very well, and so is their offense. Their offense has had some issues too with consistency, but this game was definitely a good win for the Seahawks, and we'll see how well they can play throughout the rest of the season. And right now they sit at 10 on these power rankings. Number 9, I have the Washington Commanders, and this is kind of low, but they beat the Panthers. They won 40-7, so credit to them for that. The Panthers aren't exactly world beaters. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL, but credit to them. They won, and not to mention Jaden Daniels also went down in, I believe, the second quarter of this game, so this just proves that they don't need him to beat really bad teams, which I guess is something. But, I mean, the thing about the Commanders is the Panthers just aren't a good team. And they're still a great team, in my opinion. They're 5-2, and their offense is obviously a juggernaut. Their defense I still have problems with. That's why I have them sitting at 9. But, yeah, you're on the power rankings, Washington, so congratulations to that, I suppose. Number 8 on the power rankings, I have the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills able to beat the Titans 34-10. And honestly, I thought the Bills were going to lose this game when the Titans went up 10-0, but they were able to rebound and get themselves a much-needed victory to get back on track. They're able to snap their 2-game losing streak with a 2-game winning streak that is currently alive. I mean, granted, it's not against the greatest teams. They beat the Jets and the Titans, but it's still something. It shows that this team is still definitely a contender, and it's good to see Josh Allen playing as well as he has been with the lack of turnovers he's having this year, and the Bills' offense is humming a lot this year, and they also got Amari Cooper in this game, and he had his first touchdown with the Bills. So I think things are starting to click for the Bills, and that's why I have them at number 8 on the power rankings. Number 7, I have the Houston Texans, and the Texans, they're the first team on here that actually lost and is still on the power rankings. And the reason for that is because they lost to the Packers, and the Packers are a really good team. And they only lost by 2 points. They could have easily won this game. And there were definitely some things I liked from this game for the Texans despite them losing. I think Joe Mixon is really turning back the clock for this team. And once Nico Collins gets back on this roster, I think that will only help CJ Stroud, who admittedly did not have the greatest game. He went 10 for 21 for 80-something yards. And usually you're not going to win many games, but despite how bad of a game that was, I mean, they almost won. And I think that's kind of impressive that, playing as bad of a game as they did passing-wise, they were still almost able to get a victory. And I think considering that, they had Nico Collins out in this game, and they had Joe Mixon out for a while too, and despite that, they're 5-2, so I like the way the Texans are right now. Okay, number 6, I got the Packers, the team that beat the Texans, and I mean, it only makes sense to put the team that won, in front of the team that lost, obviously. And yeah, the Packers, they also didn't play the greatest game defensively. They let Joe Mixon have over 150 something rushing yards, and he had a day. And this wasn't the best game defensively, but they won. So congratulations to the Packers. Jordan Love still has some turnover issues, as Packers fans know about. And I think over time that will get better. I think it's just because he's young. Well, not that young, but he just hasn't been starting for a while. But I think the longer he plays, the more safe he'll be with the ball. And I think, games like this, it's just the Jordan Love roller coaster. I think they should have won this game by a lot more, but they did win, and the Texans are a very good team as well. They also really limited what CJ Stroud was able to do, so their passing defense played well. All right, number 5, top 5 team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers won 37-15 against the Jets. And the Jets aren't that good of a team, but, winning a game like that, especially for the Steelers never put up 37 points. They're usually winning games like 17-14 or 13-10, things like that. They don't really put up a lot of points. So it was definitely interesting to see this team put up 37 points against a very good defense in the Jets. And it looks like starting Russell Wilson was the right decision for the Steelers. I criticized that move a lot by Mike Tomlin, but he knows what the hell he's doing. I mean, Russell Wilson was torching the Jets defense. They didn't stand a chance against him. And the Steelers, they're dangerous. And this is the thing that's even more dangerous about this is the Steelers, they have if their offense can play like this at a consistent basis, they're going to be a very dangerous team because their defense is really good too. All right, number 4, I actually have the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens were able to beat the Bucs 41-31. And this might be a little low, but the reason I have them at 4 instead of, 2 or 3, I'm sure a lot of people do, is I still have concerns about their defense. Their offense is obviously not a problem. I mean, 41 points against a very solid Bucs team is nothing to scoff at. Lamar Jackson's playing like an MVP caliber player, which he obviously is. He has 2 of them, but their offense is obviously really good. Lamar, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers. If Mark Andrews can not be an idiot, they can be even better. But the defense, I have really bad concerns about this team because I feel like they've been getting lucky in some of these weeks. Like that Bengals game, they probably should have lost that game. This game, it's a 10-point win, but it probably should have been like a 17 or a 20-point win because the Ravens have this habit of letting teams get back into games. And obviously don't apologize for a win, and they are on a 5-game winning streak. And I think as long as their offense can keep doing what they're doing, they'll be just fine, but their defense definitely needs to figure some shit out. All right, number 3, I have the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings had their first loss of the season against their division rival Detroit Lions. And this one's tough because they were a lot more competitive than I thought they would be because I definitely didn't think they would win, but I didn't think it'd be competitive either like this. I thought the Lions would, shock the Vikings and win by double digits or something. But the Vikings were in this game the whole time, and credit to them for that. And their defense struggled, but at the same time, when you're going against the best offense, one of the best offenses in the NFL, that's kind of inevitable. It's just Jared Goff had a really good game. And obviously they have guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta. They've got a bunch of people. And, sometimes defenses can't account for all the guys that the Lions have. And the Lions have the best offense in the league for a reason. And I think the Vikings in the long run will be fine. This loss definitely stings, especially considering it's a division rival. But I still think they're a very good team. All right, number 2, we got the Detroit Lions, the team that beat the Vikings 31-29. And this game just proved how good the Lions truly are. They put up 31 points on one of the best defenses in the NFL, and congratulations to them. I definitely thought this game would be a tiny bit lower scoring, but it obviously was very high scoring because they had both teams score over 25 points, and that means pretty high scoring game. And Jared Goff is really good, played really well. Jahmyr Gibbs had an unbelievable game. And you also got Amon-Ra St. Brown, had a lot of good receptions. I believe he had a touchdown. And, this team, they just know how to win games. Their offense obviously isn't a problem. It's still impressive they put up this many points against one of the best defenses in the NFL. And, their defense, they were able to win. They were able to stop the Vikings offense that usually gives them problems enough to where they could win. Granted, they did let them score 29 points, but usually, the Vikings torch them more, and they were able to kind of neutralize the Vikings offense. So credit to the Lions for that, and I have them at number 2. And number 1, this makes me sick to my stomach, but it's the Chiefs. This is obvious. They're 6-0. They're the only 6-0 team in the league. And, they're for good reason. They're number 1. If you haven't lost a game, you clearly are doing something right. They won their 6th game in a row this season against the 49ers, the team that they just have the number of because the 49ers can't beat the Chiefs. And this is with Mahomes playing terrible. Mahomes has played terrible this season, but at the same time, their defense is so good that it doesn't matter. It's like the 2015 Broncos. They're just finding ways to win despite a lackluster offense, and I can't do anything but give them credit. I really hate this. I hate doing this because I really don't like the Chiefs, but it's true. They find ways to win, and Andy Reid, he's a Hall of Fame head coach for a reason. And he should win Coach of the Year. People are saying Mahomes should MVP. No, it should be Andy Reid wins Coach of the Year because he has been unbelievable. 6 games, 1 in a row with Mahomes playing horrible. That's really impressive. And that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to put all the teams here. 1 Chiefs, 2 Lions, 3 Vikings, 4 Ravens, 5 Steelers, 6 Packers, 7 Texans, 8 Bills, 9 Commanders, 10 Seahawks, and then honorable mention, you got the Broncos and Eagles. And that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow for my Week 8 NFL predictions.